Hey y'all, welcome back. My name is Danielle, and today's video is actually a recommended topic from a follower and customer of mine, Stephanie. She had recommended me talk about imposter syndrome, and I'll be honest, y'all, this isn't something that's widely talked about. This isn't really something that I've talked about, um, with my community much. But it is real and it is affecting a lot of women. All right, so let's talk about it. Oh, praise the Lord. So let's talk about it. So, imposter syndrome is when you doubt your own skills, your own abilities, and you have this fear of people like thinking you're a fraud or thinking you're like a pretender or something. And it leads you to be like, feeling like you're undeserving of anything, or, like you're not, like you're not capable of that. And that's the furthest thing from the truth, y'all. So I want to talk about my experience with imposter syndrome from both of my companies. So I want to start with Naturally Created for You, and I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate to this. So when how I got started in skincare um was not I know a lot of people get started, maybe they're esthetician and they start like, making products, or people go to school for it. Some people, they start working with a chemist. And y'all, that is not my story. That is not my story. I started the skincare business literally out of a personal need. And the Lord gave me a formula and just continue to expand my product assortment through other personal needs I had and through customers who had needs that were asking me to make stuff. Right. And so I had a lot of self doubt because I'm like, oh my gosh, all of these companies are, oh, I'm an esthetician, or oh, I'm a dermatologist and I founded this company. Or they have like extensive research and testing, and they, or like I said, they have worked, with a chemist, so you have those credentials, right? And so when I got started, even though the products worked, I received great feedback. My customers were returning, my customers were recommending the products to other people, the business was growing. Even though I'm physically seeing these things in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, like people are gonna know I'm not really like a skincare formulator. I'm just like doing this like on a whim. And they're gonna know, and they're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna buy her product. She doesn't know what she's doing. But that's not what happened, y'all. That's just like the crazy thought that I had. And actually, the opposite happened. So, the opposite happened in terms of I expanded into wholesale. So, not only like my customers buy my products and tell people about my products, but now I have other business owners like, buying my products and selling it to their customers. And, I don't know why we are so mean to ourselves. I really don't. But it is a real thing and it is a very bad thing. And so I think, one, just recognizing that this is a real thing and you are not alone is a really great place to start. I had that case with Naturally Created for You when I first started, and that lasted for a couple years, y'all. Okay, that lasted for a couple of years of me just, even as I ventured into wholesale, I was like, I didn't go to school for this. Like, the Lord literally blessed me with these formulas. Like, I don't think people are going to understand. Like, I understand, but I'm not sure how to communicate that. And um, it's just really been a mental block, really. Now, another thing that I want to mention, because I want to give you some different examples, and more importantly, how I've been able to overcome them. All right, so I'll talk more about that at the end. But another situation where I experienced this is when I started wholesale. And I had much success when I started, and it was amazing. And, it was like, because that success was not um consistent, back to back, back to back, back to back, um my business was successful. Even though my sales was going down, my profits were going up. So my business was growing, it was becoming more successful. I was gaining more quality customers and more quality leads. But this thought in the back of my mind was, Danielle, you are not capable of showing anybody else how to do this, because your business is not even doing the big numbers. You know, all these people that are, teaching people and stuff like that, they're making this, that, and the third. And so again, you have those feelings of self-doubt creep in, that like, even though I have um been able to consistently make four figures a month with Naturally Created for You, even though I have been able to consistently uh generate 4 to 5 figure months for Naturally Created Wholesale, even though my business is profitable, y'all, being profitable is key. You have got to, and it may not happen immediately because there's a lot of expenses and stuff to start a business, but like, you want to be profitable. Even though I have created two amazing brands, even though I understand marketing, I have an amazing website, like, I understand all of these things. It was these feelings of like, well, you're not making this, you're not doing what these other coaches are doing, you're not doing what these other businesses are doing. And it's like, because I'm not doing what someone else is doing, what I'm not doing isn't enough. And y'all, that's the furthest thing from the truth. That is the furthest thing from the truth. um my business isn't everybody else's business, right? Your business isn't everybody else's business. We have to get comfortable with that. We have to get very, very comfortable with um, ourselves, but also our business. Okay, this is ours. This is ours. It's nobody else's. And so I experienced that issue a lot with wholesale, because it was up and down. So it was like, because it wasn't as consistent as I wanted it to be, then the self-doubt and the fear kicked in, that like, I didn't know what I was doing. But I do know what I'm doing. I do. Um yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So what I will say um is very, very important for you to stop looking um stop looking at everybody else, because that's stressful. That is very, very stressful. Worrying about what everybody else is doing is very, very stressful. But we have also got to stop worrying what other people are thinking about us, because that's really what this is we are afraid that people are going to criticize us or judge us, and we're going to be exposed. And it's all basically a lie. It's all basically a lie that we're telling ourselves, and it's the furthest thing from the truth. So another point that I want to make is um when it also got to the point, y'all, to where, when people were reaching out to me to compliment me, um, it was like, are they being genuine with their compliment? Because I was afraid that people were actually complimenting me to, or trying to get close to me to expose me. And I don't even know, like, y'all, the things that we think deep inside our brain and the feelings that we conjure up, these negative feelings, like, I don't even know how they happen, but they're like, it's it's really just a internal confidence issue in knowing who you are and who God says that you are. And that is really what has helped me work through a lot of this stuff, is reminding myself of, who gave me this business, who's allowing me to do this, and stop worrying so much about what everybody else is thinking about me, because honestly nobody's even thinking about me that much. Like just shifting our mindset to, like, we have to be more focused on what we got going on and less focused on what other people are, like, making up what other people are thinking about us. Social media and just like culture, they have us being in everybody else's business except our own. And I created an entire YouTube video about why I unfollowed so many people, because it was like I couldn't even focus on what I had going on because I'm too busy worried about everybody else. We have got to focus on ourselves, and back to the point of really focusing on who we are, what God has given us, and doing some self-searching and figuring out, where is this really coming from? Okay? I think that's really important to address, is where is this really coming from? It's stemming from a place of fear, but what has caused that fear? A lot of times there's something deep rooted in us that's going on that we have to get to the bottom of. And so that doesn't happen easily, that doesn't happen quickly. But I think that's something that as women, like, we really need to spend some time and focus on. Really want to encourage you that if you are experiencing this imposter syndrome, this is something that, you really want to take a look and go deeper and figure out, where is this really stemming from. Another way that I've been able to work through this is by being transparent. So one of the things that has been very difficult for me to do is to be honest and transparent about what is going on, because it's almost like a release. Okay, I did this a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago. Y'all, the time is just running together, but I did this fairly recently, to where, I talked about how I struggled with, I didn't go to school for this, I didn't, take a course or, get mentorship from anyone on how to formulate skincare. This is just a gift that God has given me. And y'all, I use that in my content. Like, I have created specific videos talking about that and letting people know my, my story. And I think, especially as small businesses, we miss this opportunity of being so transparent and letting our community know how we're feeling. Now, I think it has to be done in a way that is, I'm not saying just go on social media and just whatever feeling pops into your head, you put it out there. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying in certain situations, it can be very impactful to build trust and just let your community know, you know, your thoughts, and your position on things. So that is one of the things that has helped me, is just not trying to hide it and trying to act like I'm somebody that I'm not, because I'm not. And you're not going to find out otherwise. So I think just being upfront and open, honesty is always the best policy. So when you're experiencing those thoughts, and you know this to be true, and you know this to be something that you are not ashamed of. This is just what it is. I think you can build that into your content. um and if you don't know how, pray about it and ask the Lord, to guide you in that area. Another way that I think I was able to overcome this, um, is by celebrating my successes. And so it kind of backfired a little bit, and caused imposter syndrome. But like, I would celebrate all the like big, like exciting successes. And then when I wasn't experiencing those big, exciting successes, then the imposter syndrome would like sink in, like, oh my gosh, like you're really not doing it, because where's your success now? Where's the big announcement now? But what I realized is I don't have to just celebrate my big successes. I can celebrate those, and I can celebrate the medium successes, and I can celebrate the little successes, and I can celebrate the very tiny successes. Okay. You don't have to limit yourself to just celebrating when things are, fireworks and stuff, like, your first this or your first that. Like, celebrate that you did something today, that you moved your business forward in some way. Celebrate that, you know, man, what I'm dealing with right now. Business has slowed down a lot. And so, when I pack orders, I'm not packing a whole bunch of orders at a time right now, y'all. I'm packing a couple orders here and a couple orders there. And I'm telling my husband, yeah, I get to take my packages to the post office. I get to go drop off these packages. And, I just smile because it's some days where I don't get any orders, So when I do have some packages, whether it's a whole lot of packages or whether it's a couple packages, I'm celebrating. And also remember, all your celebrations don't have to be online. You don't have to tell everybody every time you do something. Sure, you do want to celebrate with your community on certain things, but sometimes you celebrate for yourself. Celebrate for yourself. Celebrate with the people that are closest to you. I'm at a level to where I'm celebrating just improvements that I've made, that I'm seeing are working. That's a success to me. So, switching your mindset to, you know, just because it's not huge to where all the, whistles and horns are going off, does not mean it's not a success. It does not mean that at all. And learn to celebrate the little successes and the smaller successes, um because those are what's truly going to, move your business forward to where you see those huge crazy successes. Is, doing the little things day by day, working day by day, and figuring it out. That's going to ultimately lead to a really huge success. But stop feeling like you got to post everything. Stop feeling like you can only tell somebody when it's something major. um Learn to just celebrate everything. Celebrate every part of your journey, no matter how big or small it is. um what else did I want to say? Oh, also, with celebrating your successes, talk about your failures. Okay. um I know it's hard. I know it's, maybe uncomfortable, but it's real. It's real, and I think it makes you relatable, and I think it just lets people know that you are human. Like, you are a human being, and you make mistakes, you know. Um Maybe you had a product fail, or that's why you see like bloopers and stuff like that. But, I'm just giving you an example of post your failures. It doesn't have to be like some like detrimental failure, but don't be afraid to post, something that you messed up on. I think it does, help you be relatable. I talked about that in different videos that I've made, of mistakes that I've made in business. You know, um, somebody's car alarm is going off. Um, so yeah, don't be afraid to post your successes, big or small, and don't be afraid to throw in some failures too, because it's real. Like, it's real, and it goes back to just being transparent and being honest and not being afraid. I think we really have to get out of the mindset of worrying so much what other people think. Like, this ain't their business. This is your business. You know, um you have to stop worrying so much about what other people are thinking, and half the time they're not even thinking about you. They're thinking about all this crazy stuff going on in their own life. So just a lot of mental things that we have to work through. But I hope that was helpful. More than anything, as always, I always say, you know pray. I know everyone's probably tired of hearing me say, you know pray about it, but it's literally so helpful. So helpful to pray and seek God and ask for his guidance, um and just continue building that relationship with him, and building that business partnership with him. Like, he's the best business partner I'll ever have. um so just really, taking things to him in prayer as well, I think is makes a significant difference. But again, thank you for recommending this topic. If y'all have any other topics that you want me to talk about, drop them below. I hope this helps somebody, and I will talk to y'all later.